Well, there you go, she's off. Now you can see it kind of tipped forward or tipped back. But finally, in the end, this hole right here, which would line up roughly around here somewhere, is where the wires right there, these 4 wires here would go through that hole like that and connect with this bunch of wires right here. Now that'll be pretty easy to reconnect because all I got to do is follow the same color codes as what was there before, and that'll be pretty simple. Everything seems to be in pretty good shape back here. There was one pop rivet that gave me a bit of a hard time, and let me show that to you. Hang on. I don't want to scratch this in. If I can sell it, I will. Some guys with Jeeps that have had an accident may be interested in this. Right there. So, let me see if I can. It's really awkward because it's top heavy. So anyway, there's your. Let me turn it this way. Oh. Let me turn it like this. Maybe she'll hold like that. So here's your fender like that. Here's the back of the fender, and way down in here, right there, there was a basically a pop rivet that was held in by this piece right here at the back. So what I had to do was to jimmy up my little screwdriver pry bar and give it a little bit of a tug, and from there she popped right off, and as soon as I did that, the whole fender became loose, and so there you go, it's off. All in all, if I was to count the hours it took me to take this off, I'm going to say about 4.5 hours, 4 to 4.5 hours, something like that. It wasn't very difficult. If I was to give you one piece of advice, if you're going to do this, the closer you are to the bottom part of the chassis, or closer you are to the actual road, go really slow with those bolts, because some of them could be rusted, or some of them could be just the back of it actually gives away, and then you're into a situation where you got spinning at the back. So just go real slow and you'll be able to do it. So there she be. Now I'm gonna unpack from in the box up there the driver's side fender and put them side by side so you get to see it, and we'll show you the difference. Alright, so here's another little piece of information that I thought I'd share with you guys. These holes here are designed to hold the fender, and we've got these we got the bolts going into them, but there must have been some kind of Loctite or something. So I found that by using this tool right here, which is a rethreading tool, and rethreading basically the holes, the nuts or the bolts go in rather easily. So need to do that to these 3 here. Also need to do that to these 3 on this side, and probably these 4 will need to be also rebored. I'm going to have to test them out. And lastly, on this piece here, let me give you an idea of where I am here. There's the Jeep, right? So down in here, you see that little flap of fairing kind of hanging out on the other side of the fender. Well, on the inside there is a rivet that you can't really see from there. It's pretty bad. The lighting's pretty bad, but there is a rivet. Let me see if I can turn on my light to give you guys a bit of an idea. Okay, hang on. Right in there, right there, right in the center of the screen. And that rivet basically comes from a piece that is separate from this piece. and was basically going straight through and holding on to the fender. So I'm gonna have to grind that down so that it doesn't you don't get too much interference there when I put the fender back. I haven't decided yet whether or not, there's my fender, I haven't decided yet whether or not I'm going to bore a hole here and line it up and put another rivet on the new fender. I don't think that I'm going to have to. I think that it'll be pretty solid without it. But anyway, stay tuned, let you know what I'm doing on that. Alright? Well, welcome to the shop. This is where I create and do all kinds of stuff, and as you can see, it's got a bit of everything in here. So you know, from saws to all kinds of stuff, you see, and a lot of unfinished projects, but working on that, probably eventually get it done. So here's the old fender. Thought I'd give you a once around. As you can see, it's still in pretty good shape. There's only a bit of rust on the surface at two little spots, one here and one up there, and maybe a little bit running down the edge here. But to be honest with you, I was kind of you know, I didn't want to start that over twice, in where getting it repaired and then all of a sudden I had to, you know, go through all that again. So anyway, looking at the new one, this is the new one over here, and it looks pretty good. It's got some dimples already, as you could probably see. For example, I'm going to try and see if I can get an angle of that. Right there. There's another one right there. And basically they correspond, they seem to correspond to those holes right here. So wherever I'm going to need to drill, seems like they've except for along this edge, there's no dimples there, because I guess I could measure them there. But these ones here, there's a big hole here, and I'm going to need to do that. But there's, again, dimples all over the place. The front of it, I noticed here on the old one, it had an area right up front here. There was a bolt that held on to the body here, and on the new one there doesn't seem to be one there. So maybe they think that it's not, that it doesn't need it. Have to bore a hole where the signal light's going to go, but you know, some of the holes are there. Look at that, you see. And so this is pretty good. Actually pretty pleased with this. First time I've actually taken it out and opened it and take a look at it. So here's the inside. See how there's areas where, so I'll keep you posted, let you know how this goes, and if all goes well, I will be posting a little bit later on YouTube the location and the place where I bought these. They cost about $700 for the two, so $350 a piece. So I guess that's not bad, and I'm doing the work myself, except for the painting. Somebody suggested that I actually should dry fit it first, put it on the Jeep, make sure all the holes line up and everything's good, then remove it. Oh, there goes my furnace. Then remove it and get it painted, and then come back and then put it back on again. So anyway, we'll try all that and see how it goes. Talk to you soon. Well, I guess you're not talking, I'm the only one talking. So YouTube you soon. I don't know if you can say that. Alright.